Hi, welcome to Rick Shiels' YouTube channel. I'm here today to test the Scor golf wedges. Now I'm really excited about this product. Scor Golf from Texas, America have sent me these wedges. I've got 5 wedges to talk you through and talk you through their company really and their idea of wedges. It's pretty revolutionary. First things first is they make 21 degrees of wedges. This is starting all the way to 42, all the way to the loft of 63 degrees. Now what they state and what they specify is that every single wedge is kind of designed differently. So they don't just make one wedge and bend it. So don't just make one wedge and move it to whatever degree is suited, because then the line angle changes and everything else. And the bounce angle, everything else. What this is designed, every single wedge has been modified and changed and tweaked. So if you want a 46 degree wedge, which is more like a pitching wedge, that's exactly what you get, and it's tailored for that loft, so it's massively important. The other things that they do as well is that they're kind of milled and forged faces. Like I'm just rubbing my finger across the face there, and I can feel the grip coming off it already. I can really feel how kind of that's going to bite up with the club, and you're going to get a lot of spin and control, which is great. They also do a V-sole bounce angle. So they have the V here section, so it actually it doesn't have a bounce angle on it as such. But what the idea for this is that it doesn't really sink into the grass or the sand or whatever lie that you're playing off too much. Once it hits down, it kind of pops back up again, which makes things a lot easier when you're playing. One other thing about this company as well is that before you actually buy them, you can buy them online. I'll put the website in the description below, but you actually go through quite an intensive fitting, kind of online fitting first. Now what you do on that, you fill out loads of information about you and your golf, about your clubs that you've currently got, about your distance control and your yardages that you're currently hitting, from kind of your 8-iron and your pitching wedge and what wedges you currently carry. And then from that, it gives you a 4 wedge alternative and a 5 wedge. And the 5 wedge alternative actually includes a 9-iron in there as well. So you actually drop the 9-iron out of your set. Because these are your scoring clubs, it's really important that you have a club that's going to give you loads of feel, loads of great distance control, and a club that's going to be able to kind of spin and check and everything you want it to do when it lands. With a normal 9-iron, maybe you've got a more forgiving set of your irons. They can be quite tricky to chip with and to control. When I'm around the green now with all these new wedges, I must admit it takes me a minute or two just to figure out which one I want to use, because I'm still not quite adapt with them yet. I've probably had these for about 4 or 5 weeks now, and I've been testing them and trying them and getting them out on the golf course before I did this review. So they do come in a beautiful box. They come with head covers and everything else, but I've whipped all them away now, so I'm just using them in the bag. I did have Titleist Vokeys before these. I love Vokeys. I never thought I would ever go away from the Titleist Vokeys, but these are absolutely staying in the bag now. There's no doubt about it. The control you get from is phenomenal. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to hit some shots for you just to give you a bit of feedback as well of how, well, you're going to be able to see how they sound, how they fly, and also going to kind of talk you a little bit more about the technology, maybe hit some bunker shots as well, and also just give you a little bit of tuition. So stay tuned to the video. Like I say, my name's Rick Shiels from here down at Trafford Golf Centre on a nice sunny day in Manchester. Thanks again to Scor Golf for sending me these wedges, and I hope I'll give you the review that they deserve, because they are absolutely awesome. So the first club I'm going to hit for you is the 46, so a traditional pitching wedge. My normal 8-iron in my Ping S56s, my 8-iron is 38 degrees. So from that, they've given me 4 degrees for my 9-iron, 42. They've given me 4 more degrees for my pitching wedge, me 4 more degrees for my gap wedge, so it's more consistent. They give me 4 more degrees for 54 for my sand wedge, and then finally 4 more degrees for 58 for my lob wedge. So my distance now are much more accurate. I've got about 12 yards between each club on a full shot. Don't tend to hit the 58 fully normally. Another good feature with this, on the grip, there's a lambkin grip and it feels great. So you have these kind of 2 circles here at the bottom, and they're great little checkpoints to be able to either choke down on the golf club a little bit to gain more control. Normally, if you grip it, the kind of right thumb just sits on the top circle roughly. As a guidance, then you can pop your right thumb just on the bottom circle. And that just helps you get a bit of continuity when you're actually gripping it or choking down on the golf club. It really helps. So, I'm going to hit 46 here. I'm going to go just over that 100 banner in the middle of the range there. First off, behind the golf ball, it sits beautifully. It's such a clean, tidy iron. Or wedge, should we say. So it does sit beautiful. If I hit this off this turf, it's slightly wet ground conditions today, so we'll see how that reacts off the wet ground. So hopefully we'll get some nice results from this. So reaction off the club face, I mean, that's flown really nicely. Gets quite a nice trajectory, quite a high trajectory. Helps it stop when it hits the green as well. But also what I do like about it is that you can play these clubs a lot lower, hit them softer. The shaft reacts quite nicely on short shots and on the full shots as well. Apparently it's called the Genius shaft. Halfway down it's quite soft, and then lower down it's a bit stiffer. So the idea with that being that on a short shot you still gain the control and the precision that you need, where on the bottom bit it gives you that feel for the longer shots, it gives you that stretch, that really nice trajectory. Set another one for you. It does really fly so nicely. Sounds great off the face. Feels like a wedge should feel. So it feels more like my old Vokey wedge really, but has the kind of spin and the groove action. It's cut through the grass beautifully. It's come down and straight back up again. And with that V-sole, it never feels like it's digging in too much. If I go now with a 58, and also just slightly grip down on it, I'll try and pop it in that net just in front of us. So if I just grip down slightly, that net's about 40 yards away, so if I just drop it down, I'm going to hold it down to the bottom spot that we were talking about before, and just see how it reacts from here. And it just cuts through, I've hit that tiny bit long actually, but it just cuts through the grass so nicely. Never quite feels like you're going to be able to almost hit too much turf, almost take too much depth, because it bounces up so nicely with that V-sole at the bottom. Seems to just pop straight back out the grass again, which is great. Just need to hit that a little bit softer, hit that just over the back of that net. So I'm going to grip down to that bottom circle again, slightly shorter swing this time. And it just seems to fly so nicely. Can't believe I missed it twice on the trot. Let's go one more. A little kind of tip for pitching from these distances as well. Try and know the length of swing that you're going to be doing for each swing, for each distance. So if you imagine the big clock face around you, 12 o'clock, 6 o'clock, 3 and 9, feel like you're only swinging back to certain time zones in your swing, and try and make it symmetrical on both sides. Helps you kind of gain control of your pitching a little bit better. Says the one who's just hit it long and then short, but let's pop it in this time. Just kind of goes in simply enough like that. The good thing with it is that I feel more confident now in my distance control. I feel like I know exactly how far I'm going to hit each wedge, and that makes a huge difference when you're out on the golf course. I can't quite give these clubs as much enough praise really. They are a phenomenal set of golf clubs, or wedges, and they just fit in so nicely. Once you've gone through the Scor fitting chart and you've gone through everything that they kind of recommend you to get, you feel more confident that you've got the right set for you as well. So, Scor golf wedges, Texas, USA they're from. And thanks again for sending me these guys, I really do appreciate it. Awesome, absolutely awesome. They are completely and utterly staying in my bag forever. They're a phenomenal set, easy to hit, easy to control, forged with a nice kind of design and style to them. And for the rest of golf, I can't see now how I could ever go back to any other wedges after getting the Scor golf one. So please do check them out online, guys. Check them out on Facebook and Twitter as well, and hopefully give that review a bit of justice, and hopefully you've enjoyed it. Do check me out on Facebook, Twitter, subscribe to the channel down below. Thanks very much for watching. I've been Rick Shiels down at Trafford Golf Centre in Manchester.